So, I mean, at the very beginning of the fucking movie, we got a socially awkward teen having a conversation with a child, essentially, showing not only is it a very small community that they all pretty much ride one bus, but also that this kid, this teenager is, even though he is a teenager, he's not acting like a teenager. He's not fitting in with the rest of the teenagers, and he's befriending other people that are also very similar to him, but in different ways. I mean, with the one quote by Pedro that Napoleon comes up with, if you vote for me, all your wildest dreams will come true. There's a, what's the fucking word? I mean, one way would be like a hopeless optimism. I mean, maybe with like Pedro, it could be sometimes because of how depressed he gets, like a fucking hopeful nihilist or a hopeful pessimist. I mean, maybe it's just like a naive hopefulness, like just in general, which is something I kind of miss seeing. As far as I've been watching a lot of stuff, everything is like so real all the time. There's just like, we have to be in the real world. Everything has to be real. We can't have high hopes. We can't have dreams that are potentially unreasonable or unattainable, which, don't get me wrong, like to some degree or balance or whatever, if I didn't say degree, to some degree, it's like, of course, like you shouldn't, hope for things that'll never come true. But at the same time, though, like just because something doesn't exist right now doesn't mean it can't exist in the future. And sometimes, like, it comes. I mean, like almost everything that we use in society. I mean, even society, it's all just fucking imagination. Like we all imagined it, and it eventually, came into, I mean, some things obviously are a little bit, they're invisible things, but obviously like a spoon or a fucking pencil or a table, this microphone, anything, it was imagined. It didn't exist at one point and now it does. So you can't, it can be a very beautiful thing to be naively hopeful, or just to be hopeful in general and just not think about how it might not exist or whatever, or that it's not possible. Because, I mean, we're fucking still shooting people into fucking space and stuff. I mean, I guess there's conspiracy theory shit, but like as far as, science is not exactly magic. Magic is a beautiful fucking thing to think about and imagine and hope, and maybe there is a certain level of magic or whatever, but like, science is fucking, I don't know, physics and all that shit, kind of explainable, kind of, if you fucking, anyway. If you do any fucking research and, experiment and whatnot and study fucking blah, blah, blah. I mean, you've got socially awkward kids that are trying to fit in, but they're just having like, it's just like impossible for them. Obviously this is a movie, so the chances of Pedro actually becoming president afterwards, like maybe not exactly likely or possible, but maybe there's a chance that, because kids can be easily swayed by things. And Napoleon, someone who's like vastly considered uncool probably by most of the people that go to school there, all things considered, based on the fucking community it actually is. I mean, I don't want to even, I could get into some of the other fucking like side characters and stuff, but I just want to try to stay focused on Napoleon and his friend Pedro. I would have to probably rewatch the entire fucking movie right now to like completely answer all these questions I have, but I don't know if there's like a 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing. This might be just like a thing that just happened, because I had to already rewatch a little bit of it just to kind of remember some things. But, the prom happens and, his date gets fucking, leaves Napoleon immediately. And, does that somehow unconsciously make him think, once when he gets to the thrift store and sees that dance VHS tape, does that signify, man, maybe if I was a good dancer, maybe she would not have left me. Maybe she would have stayed with me. So I don't know if that's what he leaned into the VHS tape for, or if he just, because he also grabbed some other fucking things. I forgot what the fucking, hold on one second, I forgot what the fuck it's called. I wanted to say the right thing, because I think it's Sai, S-A-I, and there's another version that's missing one of the little, I forgot what the hell they're called, but there's two different types. Anyway, but I'm pretty sure he picks up a Sai also at the fucking thrift store, so he kind of has this natural inclination to like, I'd say that's kind of a cool thing, but I don't think everyone would find that cool. He's obviously a very dorky character, and and his skills. I mean, if he continued with his drawing skills, I mean, would he need? I mean, it doesn't seem like he's got much of a mentor. It seems like he's kind of like left on his own, and so like that for the most part, it doesn't seem like there's like as far as if I remember, there really isn't like a teacher or anything that like kind of looks over Napoleon. He's kind of just like left on his own. But well, I think like the only mentor is fucking LaFonda, who gives him fucking like acceptance. There might be a affirmation. Affirmation, confirmation, reconfirmation, approval of what Napoleon he's dancing, he's sweating, and he's just, obviously it's a cute woman fucking talking to him, he's trying to look cool, and she fucking gives him a cassette tape, and now he's dancing to he's like a fucking approval from someone who, like, just, I don't know, just like that he's probably over the world, just in that sense, like that gives him a reason to fucking to do better and to be better at dancing and stuff. Shit, whoops. Sorry, hit anyway. So yeah, and I had to rewatch some of it. I'm sure there's gonna be some things that I fucking completely miss. But as far as I know, he didn't even get asked to do the dance thing until the skit or whatever, until the very, very end. He's literally there for his friend Pedro, like through the fucking end of it, just standing by his side, where, giving him fucking, I don't know, I can't fucking ever think of all the words. Hold on. I guess moral support, just being fucking there for his friend. And he finds out the skit thing, but he's like, maybe I can, which is, once again, like there's a chance, cause he's already tried doing, the drawing skill to get his date. And clearly, obviously that didn't work. But like, still like this naive hopefulness that is like, if I do this fucking dancing, once again, he's telling fucking Pedro, if you vote for me, tell him, if you vote for me, all your wildest dreams will come true. Like this, like, once again, this naive hopefulness. And like, if he didn't, I don't know, man, he 100% was invested in this. If I dance in front of these people, I'm going to fucking rule the world. That was what was going, maybe not exactly in his head, but like, just like, I'm going to do I'm going to, and there's a chance that he could have did that, and like literally people were just like laughed at him, and he would have ran off the stage. But he ends up running off the stage because the fucking song ends, or they end the song for him. Maybe they just like try to like fucking like make fun of him, like just trying to do like one more dent in the armor. But no, people fucking loved it. Once again, it's a fucking movie, but like, I don't expect people to fucking believe that shit. And I don't know if I did this because of this fucking movie. Well, so my story with it kind of is similar. So, senior ball, 12th grade, final grade of a grade school or high school or whatever you want to fucking call it. I really want to impress this girl that I've been kind of seeing. She doesn't want to fucking like make it official or whatever. Don't want to blah, blah, blah. Don't want to. And so first thing I learned was fucking Tom York's Lotus Flower, the music video. I learned that shit. I did that in front of her, but I messed up. She fucking thought it was hilarious, but also cute or whatever. I ended up fucking, because of that, with those dance skills, I have to like I kind of did like a similar thing with what Napoleon Dynamite did with just like constantly studying. I just kept studying the fucking music video, but to kind of learn that free flowing dance, and you can not believe me. I don't give a fuck. But this, so I go to ball. I don't think I like went with her, but like she was there. I think she like went by herself or whatever, and like fucking dancing on the dance floor. And eventually, like, I swear to God, there was a fucking, there could have been just like a chance that there's a circle around us just because people were afraid we were gonna fucking hit into you or something. Maybe it was just like fucking that, but like, I got like approval and like praise from people. Fucking this one like jockey dude, like fucking like sports dude, like fucking gave me praise. That was fucking awesome. Like, so it was a very similar like Napoleon Dynamite. I swear to fucking God. And then also like one time, I swear to fucking God, I tried doing it a second time. It did not. It was literally the complete opposite. No one gave a fuck. But the first I did this once, also like a very similar. I didn't do exactly Tom York's dancing or whatever, but like that kind of style, I guess, is what I did. And I did it in front of like a bunch of like a college campus, like right in front of this like very, in between classes, like kind of people, bunch of people fucking like walking around. I'm just like fucking dancing this song, and eventually I stop or whatever, and everyone's fucking cheering. And once again, I tried recreating that because obviously fucking, the fucking ego or whatever. And literally like a security officer came up to me to like make sure I wasn't on drugs or whatever. But this one girl, she was, she was nice. She was like, are you okay? Like she thought like maybe I was like fucking like having a seizure or fucking, I don't know, something. And, but But no, it's so like once again, I guess the power of dance is possible. So I've experienced. I mean, once again, you can just completely think that I'm full of shit. That's totally fine. I know there's some people that I know that are also like that were also hyped up by it, but it didn't go anywhere. And once again, it's just dance. I mean, dancing is fun as fuck. I hate that that's kind of like minimized because people are afraid of getting made fun of and stuff like that because they don't want to be blah 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 on social media. But like fucking dancing is expressing yourself through dance is fucking amazing, man. So some of the other characters we got Deborah, who is kind of like a love interest, but also kind of like a friend interest as well. I mean, just like Napoleon, just like kind of, befriending Pedro and then befriending Deborah in a way. But then obviously there's a little bit of drama, because of fucking Uncle Rico. And also just like, teenage shit in general. I mean, we got Kip, who, his little love story with LaFonda. That's awesome. You kind of see someone's willingness to change, but also like it's interesting because I don't know if, I'm sure the internet, I mean, a lot of people are still getting, they're getting relationships from internet dating and whatnot, but it was just interesting to see like back in 2004 and you had, this very early, you didn't know who you were just hoping that you were talking to who you were talking to. And like based on this movie and how there's a chance that he was just going to end up with someone who was catfishing him. But like, it's just awesome that he was, we had in the background, a lot of character, growth, a lot of, characters or people just growing in real time. You got Uncle Rico, who's like a washed up loser, who's just like fucking like hoping to go back in time to, he can paradoxically or whatever fucking change his fucking past to get, have everything he ever wanted, blah blah blah. And he's kind of no different, he's got a very different but also the same kind of naive hopefulness as Napoleon. I mean, he's literally pretty much as much as like of a fucking outcast as Napoleon, but like just once again he's just got this different facade. I mean, I guess he fits in with some people, I guess. And there's a happy ending for I think everybody for the most part. I think his I know it's his part. I don't know if it's his wife or if it's just a partner, like a girlfriend, like a long-term girlfriend. He ends up with her coming back. She just ran, that just spontaneously comes back, just like, which, we all don't, sometimes you just hope that sometimes like other people will like eventually come back into your life or something like that. And, you're able to reconcile your differences. Cause otherwise, once again, this guy's fucking living in a fucking, an RV, or a fucking van or whatever the fuck. And like Kip's trying to get advice from Rico and Uncle Rico, and he's fucking. If he took the advice from Uncle Rico, he probably wouldn't even end up with LaFonda. And I think like the message of that is just like maybe you should listen to your partner and get your advice from your partner, and maybe like like you'll have not only a happy fucking spouse, but also like change for the better. You know what I mean? He's very adaptable. A bit of a chameleon of sorts, which I think is something that you got to be adaptable in the real world. You got to be adaptable in the world in general. LaFonda didn't really have to change at all. She fucking was just, perfect the way she is, and she was willing to meet somebody and like, once again, like I'm sure he sent a picture or whatever, and like her willingness to look past physical appearances, because once again, obviously in the real world, generally, once again, like they would never end up together or whatever the fuck. But like, I know it's just, it's nice to see, I don't know. I guess it's gender norms being bent, I guess, because once again, normally, I guess in a lot of fucking stuff, it's always the other way around, where the woman's all fucking like a mess or whatever, and the guy's a fucking, perfect fucking specimen of fucking humanity or whatever. So, and once again, like, someone who's so cool is willing to hang out with someone so nerdy or considered uncool, but that's because she sees him for who he really is rather than what everyone else, I guess, generally sees. And, so, I mean, and, just, I guess, like, just jumping, like, ping-ponging back and forth, like, just, they go through the jobs and stuff to show not only, like, just the kind of jobs that are available, but also, like, stuff that teenagers gotta, we gotta make fucking some money now. You're starting to grow up. You gotta, like, there's responsibilities. You can't just be a kid anymore. So there's that kind of stuff. You got, Deborah, she's, like, trying to still retain that child innocence of fucking, using her imagination to, make money and, through photography, which is, I think, honestly, a pretty fucking smart idea. I mean, also, like, it's a lot hard. The hardest stuff is making art. You have to fucking make something that people, like, fucking want to admire so much that they're going to fucking buy from you and blah, 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 blah. So, where, like, photography is, like, a lot more neutral. Like, you can easily people love getting their pictures taken. And, I mean, obviously, if you, there's definitely absolutely a talent and an expertise and a profession to taking pictures. It's not that easy to take pictures, to make a picture that makes it, like, really look like, to make people want to pay for your pictures. But once again, that's a little bit easier only because you're not, I mean, you're just, I guess, they do show an example of, like, her creating the atmosphere and the setting for the picture to work out and stuff like that, or to be as the best it can be, in her eyes, with what she's got. And which, once again, they're all, they all have with what it shows limitations for all these characters. You show Uncle Rico, this guy who's, like, trying to show himself he's a lot more grandiose than he actually is. He's trying to make other people more grandiose than they actually are around him. Like, it's just like this, it's just like, chill, man. Just fucking, like, maybe, I don't know, man. Just fucking, like, you're just not looking at the mirror the right way. Like, I don't know, but, like, it's not easy to just solve all your fucking problems. It's not easy to see all the things that I guess, once again, it's not easy to see everything, you know what I mean? I guess in general. I mean, it's also funny to think about now that I'm thinking about it, like with Deborah, once again, like this, and I was talking about before, like how, as a teenager, you got to start growing up and, like, you're not a kid anymore. You got to, like, and, like, she's probably she's acting far more mature for her age. She's already thinking about, making money and selling and stuff. And, like, you got the rest of these kids, like, you got Summer and fucking, I don't know the other fucking guy's name. The kind of bully fucking jock dude. What the fuck was I saying? They're focusing on how, just the absolute now, like the most nowest of now, just trying to be as cool as possible. Not even, but they're not thinking about, I mean, I guess maybe once again, with all this, like, the concentration and trying to be cool now, all that experience will accumulate to later, which is, definitely possible. And that's, once again, usually what happens with most people who are cool. I mean, I guess there's always that fucking, like, people who fall off immediately after high school. That happens. Yeah, I mean, like, so Napoleon's, like, probably a lot more childish in nature, kind of rejecting, or not even, like, really, I don't know, like, just not, maybe he's not growing up as fast as everybody else, or I don't know what the right word, kind of a bit regressed, whereas she's just kind of like, once again, she's thinking about the future already, which, I mean, as a kid myself, man, like, I went through, like, 3 or 4 different ideas for fucking careers and shit. I mean, it's very, what they expect fucking kids to fucking, it's just crazy, man. What they expect kids to know to finish the sentence is crazy. It's funny because, like, this is, I guess, a hero storyline, I guess. Like, a person does grow over time, and in the end, like, and so maybe that's the reason why it works overall, because, like, otherwise it's just a slice of life, in a sense. I guess there's a little bit of, like, the fantasy theatrics, I guess, of, like, movies and stuff, or just stories being told, that are probably not based in reality. Once again, I mean, there's a chance that, once again, people are, but, like, are they going to respect fucking Napoleon Dynamite forever? Or are they just going to respect him for that one time? And then, once again, if he can't recreate something better than that, because, once again, if he does that a second time, it's not going to be as good as the first time. So, like, once again, it's just that one time moment, you know what I mean? Like, and, I guess, like, not, some people don't even get that at all. So, I mean, once again, I'm just saying. It's all by chance too, like, literally very at the end, like, just like, once again, the skit, like, all the accumulation of him dancing and all the experiences and stuff that they show in the movie, and it just, like, at this very last moment, like, Napoleon grabs, like, the fucking, something falls from the table and he grabs it at the right time, just like that cat-like reflexes kind of fucking thing at the very last moment when it matters most, and it's just like, it just perfects, just then that event happens, and then just, like, it just fucking a giant boulder rolling down a fucking mountain, it's just natural fucking flow, or, like, just the I don't know, like it just, or like it was like a roller coaster. Like you're just like kind of just like, man, what, like what's happening? Then just like suddenly, just like fucking like, not even like you don't get a second to fucking like that like slow build up the fucking hill. You're just like literally just whoop, and then you're down the fucking the hill. You're just fucking enjoying the dance. It's the fucking going all around the circles and the fucking all the crazy shit and the for a roller coaster anyway. And then like fucking just that natural slow conclusion. Fucking playing. I can't remember what the fucking I forgot what the game's called. Hold on, tetherball. And I did forget they do. I mean, I don't know if I even need to talk about it, but like at the very end, there's like a end clip with LaFonda and Kip getting married and Napoleon arriving on a stallion. Like, I just, once again, just the quirkiness of the whole thing. I mean, it really does show that dreamlike quality. It really is kind of, I mean, it's a light fever dream. That scene there, pretty fever dreamish. But like, this whole thing's like, it is kind of, it's just a very weird, awkward, but very real, and a place that like they don't typically show. In a sense, it's like almost like a fucking antithesis, a mirror version of fucking like Ferris Bueller's Day Off in a sense, almost. In terms of like, just like these, I mean, it's just like super, like kids that want to be cool so fucking bad, and which I guess in a sense, like the 80s kind of still had that too, but like they weren't. I guess they did have some fucking nerdy characters that didn't fucking fit in. But like Napoleon, he's still, he, in a sense, even though he did this one fucking amazing thing, he still stayed this, who he was. He didn't really, he tried to change, and I guess through his changing was just like kind of, once again, I guess his change a lot of times, his change sometimes just growing in general, just like, becoming more of yourself. If Napoleon's capable of making an entire audience fucking not only cheer for him, but vote for his friend to get him elected, what else is possible for him? And that just shows that naive, hopefulness. I guess we would have to talk about mental illness only because Pedro, this is one thing I forgot to, Pedro's going through a lot of depression, and like, I don't think he even is aware of what's happening to him. And it really just goes to show how a lot of people struggle through mental illness and don't even realize it's happening to them. If they knew what it was, if they knew the definition, the symptoms, and, maybe they'd be able to manage or address it or, find help for it. But he doesn't know, he doesn't know. He's just like fucking something, like shaving his head. Like that's like a very small, like, overreaction to something. But like at the same time though, like, I don't know. Is it almost, I would say maybe like manic light, but like we'll just stick to just the depression. And once again, even with Napoleon, definitely showing some signs of, which I'm sure maybe they weren't even thinking about it, but like definitely showing some signs of being on the spectrum or being autistic or having autism. I don't know what the right wording is, but yeah, no, it's pretty fucking. It's pretty fun, and I'm sure they all have kind of like, and like Deborah's a bit of got anxiety herself. I would say all of them kind of a bit of anxiety, but like Pedro's a bit of like an Eeyore from like fucking Winnie the Pooh in terms of like his like level of depression and like lethargy. And I think maybe if I could just think about it, maybe it's just like the fact that like he's just not fitting in. And maybe it has to do with the fact that, he's a different race than everybody else. That could, or a different culture than other people. Maybe that is part of it. That definitely could be part of it, the reason why he's not fitting in. But also, it's just like the idea that the fact that he's not fitting in is like, and he just like, he's just sad. He just wants to, we all want, like, I don't know, man. If you don't want to fit in, I don't know, man. Like, it's a very human thing to want to connect, to want people to approve of you, to be socially acceptable, to be normal. Like, that's like, and then if you don't have that kind of stuff, like your body, subconsciously or obliviously, or, I don't know, like it just fucking can just psychologically, fucking mentally, emotionally can wreck you, can affect you, affect your body, affect how you act and react and go about your day and your night and your sleep and fucking, and once again, some people, they have no idea. They just like, these things are happening to them, but like, they're not putting two and two together. They just can't. And it's just like, once again, it's very, it is, but it's not the same. It's kind of like Uncle Rico. And it's just like this, like fucking just not understanding I don't know, like, what's gonna, like, just barking up the wrong tree, but not literally. It's a different kind of fucking thing. I mean, I guess I was just talking about Uncle Rico. But I mean, I guess, I mean, is fucking Pedro barking up the wrong tree by trying to even become president? And, is he that such a grandiose fucking, act or maneuver to become like a fucking leader? I mean, like, once again, like, this is someone that, I mean, I guess, like, a lot of these characters, like, it's just like, they're not really, they're just like, this is what I want. And I don't know what comes up. Kind of like that, the graduate getting married and not knowing what to do after it, and just like rebelling or whatever. And just like, or he's like, just kind of showing everybody, like, this is who I am. Yeah, I'm going to fucking show them, kind of thing. I mean, in a sense, he does kind of do that a couple times, a bit. He shows a bit of that ego, having the fucking, Summer, I think it's Summer's her name, the fucking, or her opponent, or his opponent, and for the presidential election campaign, has the piñata of her, made of her. So just, in that, once again, showing that, like, fucking, I'll show you kind of thing. But then also, like, the reality of, like, not being remotely capable or enough to be able to do what you're set out for dreaming and stuff. So it's just like that immense level of fucking depression. Like he was drowning in it. He was sweating, and was just like fucking drowning in his depression. And I mean, like, it's funny because, Napoleon didn't also, he's not like, oh, you're suffering from, I don't think he ever says, like, you're suffering from depression, you're just really sad, dude, or something like that. I mean, I'm sure, like, he asks about it and stuff like that, but also that social awkward nature of, like, not understanding or knowing what the right thing to do, or even how to even react properly. But, like, just like, once, like, it just, sometimes all you have to do is just be yourself. You just gotta, be there. And, he had a love and appreciation for his friends. He being willing to stick out. I mean, he was willing to embarrass himself, in which I don't know if he even. I mean, once again, I'm assuming had to just have just such a naive hopefulness, optimism, just to believe that for some reason, if I dance in front of this crowd, like, all this, like, I'm gonna help my friend. I'm gonna fucking get my girl. I'm gonna fucking make everyone love me. Like, once again, is he thinking all that stuff, or is he just fucking, like, I don't know, just coming up with, like, an idea that usually does not work out at all. Like, it usually ends up fucking embarrassing him immensely. Like, once again, I go back to the fucking, the drawing, just he's not thinking it through. Like, he's thinking, for some reason, if I make this badass drawing of this fucking girl, I can ask her out and she's gonna fucking not only love it, she's gonna swoon, she's gonna be my girlfriend. I mean, he doesn't say all these, but you can just, he's not, like, he doesn't, like, he's just not fucking, like, thinking about, like, how the reality, like, if this drawing is not fucking dope as fuck, she's not gonna, like, she's like, there's no way she's gonna, and, like, even if she says yes to, like, then what? Like, I now have to talk to this girl. I now have to, find out her interests. She's got to find out my interests. Does she even fucking care? Like, like, a lot of times, like, a lot of people will jump in I'm fucking totally fucking jumping into a pool, not knowing if there's water, not knowing whether or not there's water. So, but at the same time, though, once again, getting just roundabout, just like, sometimes you do need to have that kind of naive, hopeful optimism. Sometimes that is necessary to survive. It is necessary to survive with that sometimes, because, with everything going on in the fucking world, especially in fucking nowadays, I mean, it probably has always been like this in a sense, but, to have some kind of optimism is nice, instead of everything being pessimistic or fucking nihilistic, or just believing, like, every day is your fucking last and you're gonna fucking die tomorrow, so you might as well, that's certainly a fucking way to view society and to view life. Is what I meant to say, to view life. It's just to be fucking, just get yours and that's it. Or, like, the world's gonna end, or you only live once, whatever the fuck, all those fucking, there's just, like, also, like, the belief that, all this shit is happening, and I get all this shit is happening, and a lot of it's bad. And even though a lot of it's bad, there's, like, hopefully we can figure it out. Even if we don't figure it all at once, hopefully maybe we can figure one thing out, and eventually it'll settle itself out, and we can figure out all the remaining things that we have that are problematic, or whatever the fuck. in our life or in society or whatever the fuck. Instead of just going like, everything fucking sucks, so I'm just gonna grab as much money as I possibly fucking can. I'm gonna throw it all in the stocks, or I'm gonna fucking invest in some blah blah blah. Get to the fucking top, have a high score name, and fucking with money or whatever the fuck, and then fucking die. I mean, I guess once again, like that is definitely a perspective in life, and maybe, I don't know, there's a certain realistic aspect to it, because a lot of people fucking tend to follow this lifestyle, and it fucking is working for them, apparently, so, I don't know, but a lot of it's fucking gambling, for sure, too. I mean, even, I'm going back to the fucking movie, it was definitely a gamble for, he gambled, I mean, not only the fucking presidential election, or with the class election, the grade election, or whatever the fuck, school election. That was a gamble. I mean, a fucking very high stakes gamble, which once again, they definitely were underdogs for sure in that sense. But then also the gambling with the fucking trying to get the girl, with the fucking drawing, the fucking gambling with, with Deborah, with the drawings and stuff like that. And then you got the gambling with the relationships with Kip and LaFonda, finding out if she's even actually a real person. And then it working out in general, even after they meet up in person. I mean, they show the scene of them getting married at the end, so that's really fucking cool. Once again, it's a fucking movie, happy endings and shit like that, but at the same time, though, it's fucking beautiful to see. Because when I see that shit, it makes me fucking go out in the world fucking optimistic just a little bit. It's just a little positive. Not fucking like, I have no chance. I'm not gonna, I'm fucking Kip. I'm never gonna end up with LaFonda. I will never, no. It's just like this idea that maybe if I'm fucking myself, if I am not fucking myself, if I am myself, if I be, as an, my identity, I'm just like, I just be me. If I just be me, maybe I will find someone who will love me for who I am. And vice versa. I mean, because once again, Kip's obviously fucking pretty desperate. He'd probably take anyone who's fucking willing to show him love. So I mean, just like that was just like the universe or just chance of just bumping into someone else who, and it's interesting because she going to LaFonda. We don't know too much about her. You just know that she's really badass and she's cool and she's sexy, hot, blah, blah, blah. But like, she had to go online to find her love. What does that kind of say? You know what I mean? Like, she couldn't find the love of her life. At least, maybe there's a chance, maybe through, if she just never tried online, maybe she would eventually, settle with somebody or whatever. But, she had to go online. She had to, take a chance. She had to gamble. You know what I mean? And so it's fucking crazy, man. It's a fucking beautiful ass movie.